It's really important to set aside some time in the morning to drink your coffee in peace and just have some alone time without the kids. So every morning I make sure to take the time to do that. Sometimes it means waking up quite a bit earlier than everyone else, but once you establish a routine, it's really easy to wake up early. I start my morning off with a cup of mushroom coffee. It does have a little bit of regular coffee in it, but I just can't handle the caffeine with a full cup of regular coffee. So I tend to go that route. And then this time of year, I love going outside and sitting on the porch and drinking my coffee and just listening to the birds and taking in the beautiful view of the sun coming up every morning. How you start your day typically reflects how the rest of your day is going to go. So it's important to make sure and take that time for yourself and just try to relax and have some peace and just try to think about what you're going to be doing for the day. It really does help you set you up for success for a great day. When my husband's home, we will walk outside together and just look over our property and talk about our future plans. So I started doing that while he was gone too, because I missed him and it just kind of made me feel like, in a sense, that he was still there. So, something that we would always do together, I could find the joy and the peace in doing it as well. Although it's not always easy, because I do miss him and it does make me sad sometimes that I have to do it alone, but I do think that it is good for me to go and do those things and just get used to doing them alone. Another thing I like to do in the mornings is do any work that needs to be done on my computer. Lately I've been working on a budget spreadsheet to help us with our finances and help keep us on track for saving up as much extra money as possible to pay off debts and stuff like that. So I've been working on that in the mornings on my spreadsheet, but sometimes I make blog posts or just do some research on the computer for whatever. Sometimes, I started my YouTube channel, so that was one thing that I used to research a lot in the mornings, and sometimes I still will watch videos and try to learn some stuff, because in the morning it seems to be the time of day where I have the most peace and quiet to actually take the time to learn how to do anything. I also have to get in a couple of kitty snuggles in the morning with our new kitten. We accidentally had some kittens and I wasn't going to keep any, but we just could not say no to this cute little guy. The next thing I do every morning that helps me wake up and just feel refreshed is take a shower. And I know not everybody is a morning shower type of person, but that's who I am, and it really helps me just wake up and feel refreshed and start my day just feeling good. And it's quick. I don't take very long showers. I'm just in and out, and then I brush my hair and go on about with my day. Sometimes it's the simple little things and taking some time for yourself for things that you don't really think are that important, but they truly turn out to be important and can help you have a so much more better day. Usually if the kids are still asleep and we are in need of bread, I will start a batch of sourdough, because it is a full day, pretty much 2-day process. So I get that going first thing in the morning after I've showered, and that way it has the whole day to ferment, because usually it does take the whole day, being that my house isn't super warm all the time. So I like to get that process started early, and then I can just let it sit and get it out of the way for the day. My kids are huge fans of my sourdough, and they are so excited when I'm making a new batch and when I'm baking it and it makes the whole house smell delicious. They cannot wait to cut into it and have a piece. Usually by about 7 o'clock, at least one of the kids is out of bed and asking for breakfast. So depending on the day, I will make a different breakfast. A lot of times their request is pancakes, which I have always made my own pancake mix, but lately, pretty much ever since we moved into the new house, I just haven't done it yet. So I've been using this pancake mix, which I try to go for the organic stuff. Try to feed them as well as I can. So that's the next best thing to making my own pancake mix. So I'll take it for now. Some other things I might make for breakfast would be scrambled eggs, some sourdough toast, oatmeal, and sometimes some sausage or bacon. Occasionally I'll make French toast too, but I will say the pancakes are probably the kids' favorite breakfast aside from sourdough toast with peanut butter or jelly or both on it. On the days where I'm able to, I like to take the mornings really slow, and once the kids have had breakfast, I will usually go into some chores such as laundry or cleaning the house, just depending on what needs to be done. But on the days where I don't have somewhere to be, I will not rush into anything because there's no sense in stressing myself out or rushing. On the days where I'm not mixing my sourdough in the morning, I'm actually baking it in the morning, and it makes my house smell amazing and heavenly. And sometimes I make quite a bit to freeze or give away. It just depends on how I'm feeling, but I also like to experiment with it sometimes and try different variations of the sourdough. But all in all, my favorite is just the plain old-fashioned regular sourdough. That's what most of my slow mornings are like, so now we're gonna head into the garden and talk about how that's going this year. It's kind of a long shot for me to have a garden this year. I have had a lot going on and I just haven't been home a lot, but I'm still going for it anyways. I have my garden set on a timer, so it is getting watered every day while I'm gone, and I know the weeds are probably gonna be starting to get overgrown when I get back. I did get a very late start on the garden, and right after I planted some of my small seedlings, we had a major downpour and it completely took out my peppers and all of my tomatoes. So it may be too late for me to start over with those, but I'm probably gonna try to do it anyways, even though it is now July. I still believe I have a long enough amount of time to get some of those things going and potentially get a small harvest. Here you see me bringing in some starts that I got for an extremely discounted price, being that it's so late in the season. Normally I would start my own seeds, which I did start some of my own seeds, but they didn't do very well this year, so I went ahead and bought some. And here you see the kids helping me weed the garden. They actually enjoyed it, which was great. So I got my onions all weeded out, which I planted my onions quite a while ago, and they seem to be doing really well right now. This year I was really determined to have a great garden because last year I had way too much stuff going on in life and I was unable to even start a garden. So this year I told myself, you know what, I'm taking my life back and I'm going to have a garden this year. But the funny thing is, life always has other plans. So while I am doing my best to have a garden, and I did try and I did get one started, I am not going to be upset if it doesn't work out, because sometimes that's just part of life. Despite the efforts and the hard work and time that it took me to get everything that I did get planted, I am just going to hope for the best, and I am going to keep trying to keep it going. It has been hard because I have been traveling a lot this time of year with my husband working, and I want my kids to get to spend as much time with him as possible, and it does mean sacrificing some of the stuff that I have going on at home, but it is worth it to have our family together. I'm grateful for great neighbors that are taking care of our animals while we're gone, and the technology that allows me to be able to set my garden up on a timer and keep it watered without having to have somebody manually take care of it every day. That's also a plus. But at the end of the day, I don't expect to get much out of it, if anything at all. At least I can say that I tried, and I will be happy with that. I will probably be spending a lot of my time the rest of the summer in a much warmer climate than I am used to. In the summer, we get up to the 80s, maybe in the 90s where we live. Where I'm visiting right now, it gets up to 120 degrees plus. So it's quite different, but I am kind of thinking about starting a little garden down here and seeing where that gets me. So if you like watching my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. If you've ever tried to have a garden while you are not home much, leave me a comment and let me know how that turned out for you.